Have you ever thought about what really makes us who we are and how we connect with the world around us? In a life full of changes and challenges, we often find ourselves in tough situations, relationships and feelings that are jumbled and hard to sort out amidst these problems, with stoicism and old thought that shines with. As we look deeper into stoicism, we see that it's not just a way of life, but also a deep reflection of human nature. When we look into it, we realize that there are basic truths about humanity that we need to accept. These truths, which are sometimes hard to face, are the keys to understanding and compassion. They help us become more tolerant, empathetic, and appreciative of the beautiful values in everyone. Let's look at the 10 truths about humanity through the lens of Stoicism. This is an inspiring book that shows us that every truth is an important lesson that helps us become better people. Let Stoic philosophy lead you on a journey where you will not only find peace, but also your inner strength in every step of life. Will you be willing to take on the challenge and find your true strength within? Together, we will unlock the secrets of humanity and find the way to a more fulfilled, harmonious life. Let's start now by experiencing and imbibing the wonderful principles of Stoic philosophy to realize that each truth is a key to opening the door to genuine understanding and empathy. Number 1. How experiences shape us all. Have you ever stopped to think about how the things you've been through in your life have made you the person you are today? Stoic philosophy teaches us that everything we go through has a deep effect on our thoughts, actions, and views of the world. Experiences are what make us who we are. Every happy and sad moment, success and failure, builds our identity. Big Toe, one of the famous Stoic philosophers, said that people are not upset by things that happen to them, but by how they think about those things. This means that how we react and think about experiences shapes who we are. For example, think about Jesus Christ's life. He went through a lot of hard times, like being misunderstood and betrayed and suffering on the cross. But these things showed him the power of love, forgiveness, and patience. Jesus taught us that we can get through anything and get better if we keep going, even when things get hard. Have you ever felt like a terrible experience changed you for the better? It's often during hard times that we learn the most important lessons. Just like steel gets stronger through fire, people get stronger through challenges. Stoic philosophy tells us to be calm and accept all experiences as chances to learn and grow. When we understand that every experience has a purpose and makes us stronger and smarter, we will no longer fear or avoid problems. Instead, we will welcome them with gratitude and peace of mind, knowing that everything happens for a reason and helps us grow. We can't control what happens to us, but we can control how we react to it. By seeing every experience as part of our life journey, we will find strength and inner peace. Let life's experiences be a great teacher helping you get better. Number 2. Different communication styles. Communication is what makes relationships work and is necessary for sharing thoughts, feelings, and plans. That being said, not everyone talks the same way. Understanding the different ways people talk is important for getting along with others in both personal and business settings. Communication styles are the ways that people share knowledge, show how they feel, and talk to others. These styles can have a big effect on how people hear and understand words. Learning about different ways of communicating. Communication styles are the ways that people act and talk to each other that they use in different scenarios. Their personality, cultural background, and life events shape them. 4 main ways to talk to someone. Assertive, communication that is sure of itself, clear and polite. Openly shares ideas and feelings while showing respect for others. Effect, helps people solve problems well and keep their relationships in order. When someone is aggressive, they are often bossy, violent, and hostile. Behavior puts their own needs first, even if it means hurting other people. Effects: it can lead to arguments and broken relationships. Passive people are avoidant, submissive, and vague. Behavior: not sure what they want or need and often gives in to what others say. Effects: it can make you feel angry and like you're being ignored. The traits of a passive-aggressive person are indirect anger, sarcasm, and hidden hostility. Behavior: seems passive at first, but shows anger or unhappiness through small actions. Effects: it can cause confusion and disagreements that aren't fixed. How culture affects the way people talk to each other. Cultural background can have a big effect on how people choose to communicate. In some cultures,
direct communication, like being aggressive, is important, while in others, harmony and indirect communication, like being passive, are more important. Changing the way you talk, being able to change your style depending on the situation and the people you're talking to, is an important part of good communication. Being aware of your own style and the styles of others can help you communicate more clearly and avoid mistakes. Effects of different ways of talking at work. Different ways of communicating at work can affect how well people work together, how well leaders do their jobs, and how well conflicts are solved. Knowing how your co-workers work can help you work together more efficiently and get more done. Getting better at communicating. Actively listen, be assertive, and show understanding. Get comments to find out how other people see the way you talk to them. Different types of communication used to solve conflicts. Most of the time, assertive communication is the best way to solve problems because it leads to open conversation and mutual respect. Understanding how other people talk can help you find common ground and keep things from getting worse. Understanding and recognizing the different ways people talk to each other can help people get along better, avoid misunderstandings, and build better relationships in all parts of their lives. Have you ever thought about why some people are more clear and others are more gentle? Each person's communication style is a part of who they are and is shaped by things like their deepest values and the experiences they've had in their life. Stoic philosophy tells us that we need to accept and value this variety in order to live a happy and harmonious life. When you talk to a close friend, you might be honest and open, but when you meet a new co-worker, they might be more cautious and quiet. This can make you feel confused or even doubtful, but these are the times when we can learn patience and the ability to understand. As Jesus said in the Bible, love your enemy and pray for those who persecute you. Love and empathy are the things that help us get past our differences. Different communication styles show how rich and varied people are. Let's go deeper and accept that each communication style has its own value. When we open our hearts to this diversity, we not only improve our relationships, but we also develop the wisdom and compassion that Stoicism always encourages in life. Each person's communication style is part of a larger picture of humanity. Learn to accept and respect that difference, and you will see that this very diversity makes our lives richer and more meaningful. When you accept diversity in communication, you start a deep journey of understanding and empathy. Remember that every word and gesture has a meaning, and our job is to listen with our hearts. It is this respect and empathy that bring us together and make the world a better place, just as Stoicism and Jesus' teachings have done for thousands of years. Number 3. Diverse reactions to stress. Stress is a normal part of life, and it has different effects on different people. It's how our minds and bodies react to difficult events, whether they are real or imagined. Different people can respond very differently to stress, depending on their genes, personality, past experiences, and the people they are around. Understanding these different reactions is important for coming up with good ways to deal with problems and improving mental health. Responses in the body. The fight or flight response is the body's first response to stress. Getting ready to fight or run away needs the release of cortisol and adrenaline. Chronic stress. Being stressed for a long time can cause health problems like heart disease, high blood pressure, and a weaker immune system. Physical signs: headaches, tense muscles, tiredness, and stomach problems are all common physical signs of stress. Reactions in the mind. Mood changes. Stress can make you feel anxious, irritable, depressed, and overwhelmed. Effects on the mind. Stress can make it harder to focus, remember things, and make decisions. Changes in behavior. As a way to deal with stress, people may start doing harmful things like overeating, abusing drugs, or withdrawing from others. Differences between people. Personality traits. How someone deals with stress can be affected by traits like toughness, optimism, and mental stability. Cultural factors. Cultural background can shape how stress is perceived and managed, with some cultures encouraging emotional expression and others promoting stoicism. Differences between men and women. Studies show that men and women may feel and show stress in different ways, possibly because of biological and social factors. Effects of society and the environment. Support systems. Having a strong social network can buffer the effects of stress, giving emotional support and practical assistance. Work environment. High job demands. Lack of control and bad work-life balance can exacerbate stress levels. Life circumstances. Major life events, such as the loss of a loved one, divorce, or financial difficulties, can trigger major stress responses. Adaptations for coping. Adaptive coping techniques such as mindfulness, exercise, and problem-solving can effectively handle stress. Maladaptive coping. Avoidance, denial, or substance abuse can worsen the effect of stress over time. Interventions. Therapy, stress management programs, and lifestyle changes can help individuals develop healthier ways of responding to stress. Effects of long-term stress. Mental health. Being stressed for a long time can make mental illnesses like anxiety, depression, and PTSD more likely to happen. Mental health. Long-term stress is connected to many mental health issues such as diabetes, heart disease, and obesity. Quality of life. Long-term stress can hurt relationships, performance at work, and happiness in general. Understanding the different ways people react to stress helps people find the best ways to help and build resilience. Stress is something that everyone feels, but how each person reacts to it is very different. Number 4. Innate judgment. One undeniable truth about human nature is that we all have the ability to judge. As a Stoic philosopher, I believe that recognizing and understanding this ability helps us live a more compassionate and insightful life. We make judgments every day, from small ones like what to eat for breakfast to big ones that affect our lives. But have you ever wondered why we naturally judge? It comes from a need to protect and maintain our own safety. But not all judgments are good. Sometimes they make us miss the real values and profound truths about each person. For example, if we see a beggar on the street, our natural tendency might be to think they are lazy or can't take care of themselves. But if we stop and think about it, their situation could be much more complicated. As Jesus taught, do not judge, or you will be judged. This teaching reminds us of how important it is to understand and have compassion. Think about the Bible story of Jesus, who said, Let anyone who is without sin be the first to throw a stone at her. This is both a call to have compassion and a powerful reminder of how we can judge. Jesus tells us to think about ourselves before we judge others. Stoic philosophy tells us to control ourselves instead of trying to change or judge other people. This fits in well with that idea. Our natural ability to judge can be both helpful and harmful. It helps us quickly understand and respond to our surroundings, but it can also lead to mistakes and bias. Stoic philosophy tells us to control our emotions and think more deeply. Ask yourself, is this judgment really fair? Do I have all the information I need to accurately judge this person? Stoic philosophy also tells us that before we judge someone, we should take the time to understand and empathize with them. This is because everyone has a story, and only when we open our hearts and listen can we truly understand the value and beauty that lies within each person. By doing this, we not only become wiser, but we also live a life full of kindness and understanding. Number 5. Common insecurities. We all feel insecure sometimes, like dark clouds blocking out the light of peace and happiness. As a Stoic philosopher, I believe that understanding and accepting insecurity is the first step to finding peace in life. Common insecurities come from a lot of different places, like worrying about the future, being afraid of failing, and not being sure of your own worth. A famous Stoic philosopher told us that how we deal with our fears is more important than the fears themselves. Let's look at an example. If someone is worried about losing their job, they might not do a good enough job and could be replaced. This worry not only hurts their job performance, but also their confidence and quality of life. But if we use the Stoic philosophy, we can see that this worry comes from trying to control things we can't change. Instead of worrying, we should work on improving ourselves and doing our best in the things we can. Jesus once said, "Do not worry about tomorrow. Tomorrow will worry about itself. Each day has enough trouble of its own." This quote fits with the Stoic philosophy that stresses living in the moment and not letting worries about the future take over our lives. Tell me what you think about using Stoic ideas in everyday life. Do you worry a lot about things you can't change? How can you change how you deal with these worries? We can all learn from and be inspired by your story. Please leave a comment below and join the conversation. Before we move on to lesson number 6, we want to thank you for watching this movie all the way through. Journey. Every moment is a chance to learn and grow, and your time spent listening and thinking with us is a gift I value every minute.
To help us share these important lessons with even more people, please click the like button and share this video. Each share is a small but meaningful action, just like the deep lessons that Stoicism teaches. Don't forget that lesson number 6 is waiting for you in the next section. Let's look at and follow these timeless pieces of advice together. Thank you again for your continued interest. Number 6. Self-interest in relationships. When people interact with others, they naturally put their own needs, wants, and well-being first. This is called self-interest in relationships. People in relationships often care about and support each other, but selfishness can affect how they act, what they do, and how they talk to their partners. Self-interest is important to understand because it helps us find the balance between our own needs and the needs of others. This is important for keeping relationships healthy and long-lasting. What does self-interest mean? When making decisions and acting in a way that benefits yourself, this is called self-interest. It's a normal part of human behavior that affects how people interact with each other. Good and bad things about it. Positive self-interest can push people to get better, set limits, and take care of their own health, which is good for the relationship. Negative self-interest Too much of it can make you selfish, ignoring your partner's needs and possibly hurting your relationship. Selfishness is not thinking about your own needs while putting value on the relationship and the other person's needs. Self-interest is. Selfishness is the worst kind of self-interest, where someone puts their own needs ahead of everyone else's. Finding a balance between self-interest and mutual interest. For relationships to be healthy, there needs to be a balance between self-interest and mutual interest. It's important for both partners to feel like their needs are being met, and they should also try to meet the needs of the other person. Communication. Being open and honest with each other helps partners say what they need and see things from the other person's point of view. Misaligned self-interests can lead to disagreements, but good communication can help avoid them. Self-awareness. Being aware of one's own wants and desires is important in relationships. Self-awareness allows individuals to understand when they are acting out of self-interest and how it impacts their partner. Impact on decision-making. Self-interest often influences decisions in relationships, such as time management, financial decisions, and emotional investments. Considering the partner's perspective can help in making decisions that benefit the relationship as a whole. Self-interest in conflict resolution. In disputes, self-interest can lead to defensiveness and stubbornness. Recognizing self-interest can help partners approach conflicts with a more collaborative mindset, aiming for solutions that satisfy both sides. Self-interest and relationship dynamics. The dynamic between self-interest and mutual interest can change over time based on individual circumstances and the relationship's evolution. Regular check-ins and adjustments are necessary to keep a healthy balance. Practical tips. Practice empathy. Try to understand your partner's self-interest and how it fits or conflicts with yours. Set clear boundaries. Ensure both partners know each other's limits and accept them. Prioritize joint goals. Work together to set and achieve goals that benefit both people and the relationship. Understanding and managing self-interest in relationships is key to creating a supportive and balanced connection where both partners can thrive. Number 7. Projecting thoughts and emotions. Projecting ideas and emotions is a mental process in which people think that other people feel, want, or believe differently than they do. This can happen knowingly or unconsciously, and it's often a way to protect yourself from tough feelings or inner conflicts. What does projection mean? People use projection as a psychological defense strategy when they blame others for their bad feelings or thoughts. Unconsciously, it can happen as a way to avoid noticing one's own feelings or thoughts. Different kinds of projection. Positive projection means putting other people's good qualities or goals on them. Negative projection is when someone puts their bad feelings, fears, or worries on other people. Some common examples: putting the blame for your anger on someone else when you are the one who is angry. Thinking that someone doesn't like you when in fact it's your own dislike that you're expressing. Basis in psychology usually comes from not being able to accept or see one's own feelings or flaws. Helps people deal with guilt, anxiety, or thoughts of not being good enough. Changes in relationships can cause confusion and fights between people, may lead people to stay away from others based on false beliefs. How to spot projection.
Finding out more about yourself and thinking about your feelings can help you spot projection. Therapy and mindfulness techniques can help people who tend to project less. How to deal with projection. To clear up confusion caused by projection, communication is very important. Getting better at emotional intelligence can help you stop putting your feelings onto other people. In therapy, projection means As part of the healing process, therapists often help their clients see their images. Understanding and dealing with projections can help you grow as a person and make your relationships better. People can better control their feelings and have better relationships with others if they understand projection and how it works. When people are aware of when they are projecting, they can deal with the underlying problems and speak more clearly. Have you ever noticed that you judge others based on your own thoughts and feelings? This is a common psychological phenomenon that Stoic philosophers call projection. Many of us fall into this trap without meaning to. For example, when we are anxious, we likely think that others are also anxious, and when we're angry, we think that others are trying to hurt us. This not only changes how we see the world, but it also leads to mistakes and fights that don't need to happen. If you are stressed out and tired at work, for example, it's easy to think that a co-worker's lack of attention or quietness is a sign that they don't care or aren't paying attention. In fact, they may be dealing with their own problems. Putting our feelings on other people not only leads to mistakes, but it also makes it harder for us to understand and empathize with them. Stoic philosophy tells us that to stop projecting, we need to be more self-aware and learn to separate our ideas and feelings from reality. This will help us make better decisions about what's going on around us. One of Jesus' teachings that stresses how important it is to understand and care about other people is love your neighbor as yourself. This tells us to put ourselves in other people's shoes and understand what they are going through without judging them. Have you ever felt misunderstood by others because you put your feelings onto them? How can you become more self-aware and understanding in the relationships you have every day? In life, everyone has their own set of values that are shaped by their own experiences, beliefs, and surroundings. Please share your stories and thoughts in the comments. There are a lot of different ways that people see and judge the world around them because of this. But how can people who follow the Stoic theory accept and respect these differences? Number 8. Varying values. In addition to teaching us not to judge others, Jesus also said, "Do not judge, or you will be judged." This reminds us that everyone is on their own unique journey, facing their own challenges and lessons. For example, if you work with a co-worker whose values are very different from yours, they might value career advancement and financial success more than peace and family happiness. Instead of judging them or trying to change them, we should try to understand and respect these differences. By doing this, we not only build respect for each other, but we also learn from each other. New points of view make our worldview more complete. Ask yourself, what can I learn from other people's different values? How can I use those values to make myself better? Different values help us see new things and learn more about life. A key part of Stoic thought is accepting that other people may not share your values. The existence and growth of every person add to the progress of all people. When we respect and learn from different values, we truly follow the Stoic principles and find deep peace and happiness. Finally, keep in mind that having different values is not a weakness, but a strength. It makes life more interesting and helps us learn more about ourselves and the world around us. This is because everyone has different values and is motivated by different things. It is not only obvious, but also a basic part of human nature. Stoic philosophers know that it's important to understand and accept that everyone's reasons are different if we want to live together peacefully and respect each other. Number 9. Differences in motivation. People are motivated when they have an inner drive to do things and reach their goals. Several things affect it, such as personal beliefs, needs, and events in the outside world. Understanding the different types of motivation is important for getting people or groups to do what you want them to do. whether it's in school, the workplace, or for your own personal growth. Different kinds of drive. When someone is intrinsically motivated, they are doing something because they enjoy it. Taking up a hobby or learning new things to improve yourself are two examples. Outside benefits or pressures, like money, grades,
or praise, can be extrinsic motivation. Things that affect motivation. Biological factors. Needs like hunger, thirst, and sleep can make people less motivated. Psychological factors include self-esteem, how competent someone thinks they are, and the need to connect with others. Environmental factors include things like cultural norms, peer pressure, and cultural standards. Theories of motivation. Maslow's hierarchy of needs says that people are driven to meet their basic needs first, then move on to higher-level needs like becoming their best selves. The self-determination theory, SDT, says that autonomy, competence, and relatedness are important for developing intrinsic drive. The expectation value theory says that what drives people is how much they want to succeed and how much they value the result. Differences between people in their motivation. Personality traits. How driven someone is can be affected by traits like how responsible they are and how open they are to new experiences. Cultural factors. Different cultures may value different types of motivation more highly. For example, collectivist societies value group accomplishments over individual ones. Personal history, such as wins and failures in the past, can affect a person's motivation. Changes in behavior caused by motivation. Setting goals. People's motivation affects the goals they set and how hard they work to reach them. Performance. People who are more motivated usually do better on jobs and challenges. Making choices. People who are motivated are more likely to choose options that are in line with their morals and goals. Getting motivated. Setting clear goals. Clear goals give you direction and a reason to live. Giving feedback. Giving constructive feedback that praises success and suggests ways to make things better can motivate people. Making a supportive environment. A positive attitude and words of encouragement can boost both internal and external drive. Problems with getting motivated. Too much stress and unrealistic goals can make you lose your drive, which can lead to burnout. Procrastination. Not being motivated can cause you to put things off or avoid doing them. Motivational conflicts. Wants or goals that are at odds with each other can make you less motivated generally. How motivation can be used. Education. Adapting motivational tactics to meet the needs of each student can help them learn more. Workplace. Figuring out what drives employees can help them be more productive and happy with their jobs. Personal development. To reach your personal goals and improve yourself, you need to be motivated. Each person's drive is shaped by their own ideals, beliefs, and life experiences. Career success may be the main drive for some, while love and family may be the main drive for others. Think about Jesus' life. He gave his life to preaching love and salvation. He wasn't driven by money or power, but by unconditional love and compassion for humanity. His sacrifice and noble mission are the best examples of how different people can be driven by different values and goals. But differences in motivation aren't just limited to high ideals or faraway goals. In everyday life, we often come across situations where personal motivations clash or conflict with each other. For example, an employee may feel pressured by their boss's expectations for work performance, while their motivation might be to keep a balance between work and family life. Stoic philosophy tells us that we shouldn't judge others or force them to follow our own desires. Instead, we should focus on understanding and empathy. By respecting each person's desires and finding balance in relationships, we can make our community stronger and more peaceful. You should ask yourself what drives you and whether you are willing to accept and value the drives of those around you. These questions will lead you to real understanding and harmony. Number 10. The impact of empathy and understanding. According to Stoic philosophy, empathy and understanding are what bring people together the most. In today's difficult and complicated world, being able to see things from someone else's point of view is both a noble trait and a huge strength that helps us build lasting and meaningful relationships. Empathy is more than just knowing how someone else feels. It also means reflecting on those feelings and responding to them honestly. Imagine you are with a close friend who is going through the pain of loss. Listening, sharing, and really feeling their pain will give you comfort and strength as well. Jesus taught us about the power of empathy through his actions and words. Love your neighbor as yourself is not just good moral advice. It's a living principle that helps us understand and connect with others on a deeper level. When we practice love and empathy like Jesus did, we become better people and help make the world a better place. Here's a question for you. When was the last time you really listened and understood someone? To show empathy, we don't have to know how to solve every problem. All we have to do is be there and be ready to share the load with others. Epictetus, another Stoic philosopher, said that we have 2 ears and 1 mouth, so we can listen twice as much as we speak. Take the time to listen to others, and you will find that empathy can open doors that intelligence or talent alone can't. In today's world, where loneliness and isolation seem to be on the rise, empathy and understanding are the most powerful ways to fight back. Explore the 10 truths you need to accept about people through the lens of Stoic philosophy. Each truth, from how experiences shape us to the power of empathy and understanding, is a building block for a peaceful and meaningful life. Let these truths illuminate your path, helping you face life with patience, understanding, and love. Remember that everyone is on their own journey, and accepting and respecting these differences is the key to real and lasting relationships in every moment of life. Listen and understand so that you not only live, but truly exist. If you follow this philosophy in your daily life, you will see that empathy and understanding not only make other people's lives better, but they also make your own soul better. Thank you for joining us as we explore these deep truths. We hope that this video has taught you something useful that you can use to improve yourself. If you liked it, please like the channel and leave a comment with your thoughts. Please share the video with your family and friends to spread the great ideas of Stoicism. Also, don't forget to subscribe to the channel to make sure you don't miss any future videos about Stoicism and personal growth.